I think by now everybody's pretty well educated on the OnlyJayus controversy. I wanted to kind of wait until her apology came out before I did like a whole thing on it. Um, this situation is rather loaded. Before we get into like the start, I want to tell you guys. So I actually had a conversation, a private phone call conversation with Jayus about this situation, like 4 or 5 days ago now. In that conversation, she seemed pretty sincere about how sorry she was. We had a conversation for about an hour. In that talk, I told her that like when anything that she told me that like I would try to like give her like a rough draft of how I would apologize based on what she told me. Again, like I said, I thought she was being genuine. What she produced was rough. It was less than stellar, and we're going to get into that after we get through everything. For context, I personally am not a particular fan of cancel culture. But, you know, this isn't really my decision to make, specifically because, you know, this isn't my thing to forgive, you know, for me to just be like, oh, it's not a big deal. It's kind of, you know, but just throwing that out there. In private, I think she's sincere. In public, I think that her managerial team got far too involved in it, and they tried to turn it into like a woke festival. And we'll get into that later. But let's start from like the very beginning. So this whole thing actually started with the whole like kill all men thing that was going on. Now, she didn't exactly say kill all men, but she had like a really rough, you know, whatever. She had a rough take. She got like hit a little hard on it. She kept doubling down. And then apparently the person that she had this interaction with decided to leak what she had said. So we're going to go through what she had said first and foremost. So I did a nice editing here. Look at this. I'm such a good Photoshop master. Anyway, so this is the conversation, and I want to go through the whole thing. Now, for context, he removed everything that he had sent, which is a bit bizarre. I talked to him in private. He says he doesn't remember. I'm not too sure how much I believe him on that. A lot of people are bringing up how Jayus had said that she was like, oh, I didn't remember what I said. And then like, then she was like, she apologized in the video. So it's like, how do you not remember? I don't know. But let's go through it. So all we have is her side. So it's like, well, I guess what? And then she uses the F slur. It works. I hit 2K in less than 3 months. So if this is the way it started, I'm going to have to assume that this person was being like a troll. They were trolling Jayus, and in like pretty classic Jayus fashion, she responded to the trolling. Apparently this was way long ago when she had like a small YouTube of like a couple of hundred views here and there. Nothing like crazy or substantial. Then it goes on to say, you realize it's an automatic message, right? Like I don't send person to person. I don't know what the hell that's referring to. Anyway, and I'm being rude because people like you piss me off. Getting butterflies, heard about it, unfollow. I'm assuming she unfollowed somebody, and I think she meant butthurt. Get a life, X doubt. I mean, I think that's like a meme. I'm an old man. You know what I mean? You know what I meme? Get it? Now I'm just being dumb. Yeah, so this is the first batch, I guess. Then we have the second batch here. What the hell is, can we scroll up? Oh, maybe there's more to this. I'm so stupid. Oh, no, that was pretty much it. Okay, then it says, not fake. You told yourself to grow up. Oh, yeah, totally. Going to high school, college classes, work, and working 7 to 8 hours on YouTube is not so hard. Is so not hard. She's being sarcastic. Butch, grow up. Let your damn balls drop before you start talking. Talking shut to pop on the internet, you bottomless pit of insecurity. I'm assuming that that they were diminishing Jayus for her, I guess, accomplishments at the time, which kind of falls in line with like the way I perceive Jayus. Based on her history of being adopted, I wouldn't be surprised if she had developed like after she did succeed, if she developed a bit of a superiority complex as kind of like a way to what's the word I want to say? Make up for. I mean, I don't, you get what I'm saying. Make up for the fact that she had a rough childhood and she probably didn't have a lot of things, so she probably needs to overcompensate. That's the word I was looking for. Again, autocorrect, you dumb. It's a C word. And yes, you're right. The abortion didn't work, so now we have to assume that this guy said something about her being aborted. Which is why my parents hate me and why I've been in foster care the past 2 years. So congrats on that. Go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. I honestly hope your parents get cancer. Rough. Ooh, this is like a Call of Duty lobby at this point. They continue on. I hope everyone you love dies. Jesus Christ. And most of all, I hope Trump gets shot so your dumbass self gets to live in a world with Clinton as president. That's something. That's something right there. And then they say, I'm done talking. You Nosferatu lover, loving asshole. Have fun sucking that penis. It's rough. It's really rough. It's a hell of a thing. Now, just for context, this is the third set of messages. This is a while after. I think what was happening in this conversation, I actually looked through it like on the video when I was talking to the person who leaked it. They had messaged her. They had actually messaged her saying, "Hey, you should make sure you clear your DMs." Which is a bit suspicious, right? He's like, "Oh, you should probably clear your direct messages and like unsend them." Right? And then he sent her this. What happened is that she must have just deleted it. So she sent an empty thing. And then he was like, he sent her the messages back saying it's still there. So like it's a bit suspicious that this person who leaked it was like, hey, you should unsend your stuff now that we're both famous. Because the other guy has like 1 million plus followers. Little sus. I'm just saying. It's a little weird. Nobody's giving him shit. I don't know. But let's listen to the audio really quick, because I do have the audio. I want to listen to the audio of just this message, not the entire thing, but just specifically, we're going to listen to the audio of this thing right here. Okay.
She basically is out. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it.
I'm gonna have to assume that was like 3, 4, 5 years ago. I'm just gonna say I'm sorry. I was going through a really fucking tough time. I was in foster care. I tried to kill myself a few times. And I don't even know what the fucking argument was. And yeah, I don't know, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So that's what she said. She apologized. You could kind of make the argument that she actually did forget the message, honestly. You know, if I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, which I'm going to, I think that she actually might have forgotten. You know, you guys, you're open to your own opinions. But yeah. So they seem rather friendly after this. He says, "No, you're good. I was like 13. I just know we both have platforms nowadays, and everybody gets canceled nowadays." Let's see. Yeah, I feel it. Again, I'm sorry, dumb shit. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, you too. Keep killing it. Okay, whatever. So she apologized to the individual. At this point, this is when I had the conversation with JS. We had a very, I felt it was very genuine. I think that she was very, I think she was very genuine. We had like a long conversation about like the usage of the N-word. You know, we had a conversation, funny enough, how she expressed to me she really didn't want to try to make excuses for herself. Because she didn't want it to come off as transparent or as like a pity party. Which, by the way, in her apology, to give her credit for, she didn't do it at all, I don't believe. We had a conversation, like a personal conversation about like the history of like using the word, and I even told her, I told her, I was like, when I was younger, right, I used the word as well. When I was playing video games, that was part of like the really toxic video game culture. And like my perspective was like, listen, I've used the word because it's shocking without understanding, like, I guess what you would say, the historical implications of the word, right? And so like as I've gotten older and I've aged, you know, I suppose I've grown up slow, I've understood like the true impact of that word. Well, actually, I can't even say that because like I've understood as much as I could about the impact of saying the N-word. I've never said it like any racial slurs to any like person that racial slur would correlate with. But I've actually come to understand as much as I probably could, because realistically speaking, I'm like a white dude, and like, yeah, I guess I'm a little gay, but I'm mostly straight. So like, there's nothing you could ever say to me. In fact, there's really no word, I don't think, in general, especially in America, there's no word you could say to anybody that would diminish somebody as quickly as the N-word would to like a black person. Right. So like, there's no way that I myself, or even really any of you white people out there, you know, not to get all woke, could ever understand like the true impact of the word. But it's a slow process. A lot of people are dragging her because she was like 17. Honestly, I think what's more relevant is like the fact that, you know, as a society, we really didn't give a fuck about black people until like 5 or 10 years ago. And so like that word wasn't really something anybody necessarily cared about, you know. But yeah, so we talked about that. Very genuine conversation. And then she put these out, and I'm going to be honest with you, it's rough. It's rough. And so what I think happened, and you guys might say I'm giving JS too much of the benefit of the doubt, and that's fine. But what I think happened was, I think that like so JS has like a management team. I think they kind of got involved. I think she actually said put a screenshot out there that suggests that as well. And I think that it went from being a genuine apology to like a PR stunt. And I think that hurt her a lot. So let's listen to the first part. I'm going to break it down. So I'm going to just completely break it down. Let me just unmute. I threw up a little bit in my mouth. Now I'm like tasting it. Not poggers. I'm gonna throw up again. Ever do that?
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others.
Now I'm not trying to be that guy. Well, actually, I am that guy. The rhetoric thing is weird. She wasn't using any like rhetoric. Like rhetoric is usually like let's just define it so I don't get like paraphrase. Or whatever. But rhetoric is like the art of effective persuasive language. She wasn't really using rhetoric. She was just being an idiot, right? Which is what I would have said. I would have been like, hey, I was a fucking moron. You know, that's what I say. I'm a fucking idiot.
Because I knew what that word meant, and I understood the power behind it.
And that part really instantly threw me off. Because when we had our honest conversation, what we had talked about is how neither of us understood the word or the power behind it. We just knew it was like a shocking word. And I was like, why would you, to me, that is like not good. Like if you know the weight of the word and then you use it, to me, that's worse than just being a moron, which I don't know. A little rough. That's just my thing, but okay.
But I said it anyway because it was the meanest thing that I could think of, and
and that's probably true. Yeah, you know, it's like the most shocking word you can think of.
So sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the Black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this.
Now, really quick, I know a lot of people said that she's wearing makeup and everything. I don't think JS actually, I know she has insomnia or whatever, but I'm pretty sure JS hasn't really slept since this whole thing happened. And the reason I say that is because every time I check Instagram, JS hasn't been offline for more than like 2 hours. So I'm pretty sure she's like, actually, this is actually her. She's not even crying in the video, to her credit. You know, I do remember when I first listened to it, though. The tone, it was probably the first thing I should have talked about. The tone is a little bit off. The tone is a bit off. It's a little too, I don't know. It's not quite her content tone where she slides in and be like, hey guys, despite being 13%, you know, it's not quite that tone. But it's a little, I don't know, it's a little slam poetry-ish. You know what I mean? I don't know. It definitely kind of like shifts the mood of the video. So,
and there is
somebody saying it's scripted as hell. Just so you guys know, there's no, like, again, I know I'm giving her a lot of credit, but just so you guys know, it's okay if you write down your thoughts when you apologize, especially for something this big. Okay? So, let's keep that in mind with the scripted stuff. Like, of course, she's going to write it down so she'd make sure she says the correct thing.
No excuse, and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better. And when I first saw the screenshots, I didn't even think that they were real.
I know a lot of people are contesting that. I tend to believe her, especially after what we just saw, but, you know.
Because I forgot how hateful and how angry of a person I used to be, and it hurts my soul knowing that I said those things.
And what I really don't, like, so listen, if it was me, I would have said, listen, when I was younger, I was adopted. I had some rough times, and I was angry. And I didn't really give a fuck at that time in my life about anything. So I said a word I didn't quite understand because it was shocking, and I hated the person I said it to. And I was a scumbag. And I feel like that would have been like a little better. It's not super woe is me, but it's like, okay, you know, it's something. I guess to her credit, she tried to keep her personal self out of it the whole time.
the screenshots and the things I've said in my past are not a reflection of who I am today.
I think that's true.
And
I
I'm
think
so
it's
grateful
true.
for the people in my life that I met after high school, in college, at my previous jobs, and on TikTok who took their time to educate me on their experience.
Okay. A little rough.
Their experience.
This is her part 2.
Because listening to them was so powerful and a real reality check for me. So I want to take this time to take a step back and share my platform with some amazing Black creators who are
like the amazing Black creators, man. That to me, that's like so. That's like to me, it's very PR stunty, right? That was like, hey, my manager, I would like to apologize for what I did. It's like, you know what you should do? You should tell people you should say you'll invite Black people onto your platform. I just feel like this wasn't the time for that, you know? Honestly. I don't think that's the time for that. I think, again, she should have been like, I fucked up, I'm an idiot, and I'm really sorry. I'm gonna take time off. This seems like her manager's like, hey, what if we promote this? You know, I don't know. It's a little rough. It's not a bad thing to give Black people a voice. But I don't think that she's going to give the Black people the voice that they want to say about her, because most of them are kind of just like, most of them are dogging on her.
Who are going to tell their story to try and educate others on the trauma that happens when we use this kind of language. I know that my words hurt people. And
you know what's interesting? I'm just going to say it. Like, the words hurting people, I wonder who's really hurt. Because everything that I see are Black people just like, oh, we fucking knew it. You know what I mean? That's what they're saying. We're like, fuck you, Jayus. I don't know if it necessarily hurt them, unless this is the only scenario I could see of like how a Black person was hurt by what she said. It would be like if like there's people who like really loved her content, then that's the person that would be hurt. Like if somebody really loved Jayus's content and was like, I really loved your content, you said that word, and I feel so shitty now for liking you. That's the only time I could actually see that being like a legitimate hurt. I think everybody else was just like, oh, fuck yourself, you know? Anyway.
I know that my words have consequences, and that there is no immediate fix for my actions.
Immediate fix. That's a good choice of words. There's a fix, though. There is, but this is not a great start.
But I am so deeply sorry for all the pain that I've caused. Their experience.
Yeah, so it's rough. It's a toughie. It's a tough one. Like I said, I think it came off as like a bit ingenuine. Is that a word? I don't know. A bit ingenuine, disingenuous. Would you use that word? I don't know. But like I said, I think she was being genuine in a one-on-one. I think that she did a poor job of expressing that. Both are words, thank you. I think that she did a poor job of expressing it. I think part of it's her managerial staff getting involved. It was rough. You know, me personally, like I said in the beginning, I don't think that she's lying. You know what's here? I'm gonna give you guys my my rough take on this. A lot of you guys are saying like she's being manipulative and lying. No offense to Jayus, but you all know that her content is like Reddit shit. It's just Reddit posts. So I don't know how you guys could acknowledge that she has pretty shallow Reddit takes and then be like, but she's manipulative. I don't think that she's that manipulative. I don't think that she, you know what I mean? She might be a little bit of a sympathy grabber for sure, but do I think that she's like a gaslighter? No, I don't think so. I know a lot of people are saying like, oh, she's only apologizing because she got caught. Yeah, that's what people usually do. People fuck up and then they know they fucked up and then they grow as a person. And yeah, they don't usually be like, hey guys, let me get ahead of this. I said the N-word in a conversation 5 years ago to somebody who told me that they wish I was aborted because I didn't have parents. You know, I wouldn't have probably led with that. I'm just being honest with you. I wouldn't have led with that. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. Now, this is the one thing I feel like I really need to say. And this is the one thing that like I found rather interesting. Let me open the thing up, blah, blah, blah. Again, the screenshot up again. This is something that's really interesting to me because I didn't think of it this way when we first said this. So down to the I'm done talking to a N-word lover. When I first saw that, I didn't think about the lover part. It didn't really mean anything to me. To me, I was like, yeah, that just sounds like a like I guess you would say like an enhancer. I don't even know how you would say that. Like it's so like I would say on like the League of Insults, I guess that sounds worse than just saying the N word. And like so my mind went to like, oh, she's trying to say the worst thing possible. But like literally every black creator that I've watched was like, oh no, it does make it worse because not only you're not just like that word, but you love, you know, black people, which makes it worse. Which makes it worse. Which yeah, I guess it does. I never really thought about it like that. I don't know if I've ever said anything. I mean, like in my time of horrible slurs as a a shitty gamer, I don't think I've ever said that. Not that makes it much better. But yeah, it's something for context. It's rough, man. It's rough. I think that it hurt. One of the things I actually want to play this freak video. One of the things that like it makes me feel bad. And just I'm gonna explain to you why. There's constantly more leaks about Jayus from people that she tried to confide in. I'm assuming that she contacted a bunch of content creators she felt she could trust after this whole thing, and she decided to like talk to them. And here's one of them like literally like setting her up. And let's just...
My videos keep getting taken now. I'm gonna show this video one more time.
The kid sent the screenshots to Freak the Gemini, who is a black TikToker who just likes to start controversy.
How am I
So, you know, the reason I feel bad is because Jayus seems to have trouble making genuine friends, right? Like, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I feel kind of bad because everybody she's confiding in is just like leaking the fuck out of everything. It's rough. It's rougher. I know that you guys are probably like, oh, you're an asshole. I'm going to talk to Freak in a second, so you guys will get your visceral feeling out through Freak 100%. But listen, I'm just telling you my perspective. I don't like cancel culture. I do think that Jayus is a better person than she used to be. That's my perspective. I do think that she deserves to get forgiven and move forward. I mean, you guys should literally just stop consuming her content. Not that any of you did, but that's just my perspective. I'm not a black dude, so it's time to get Freak on. I know Freak wants to talk about this. It's gonna get, I guess, a trigger warning, guys. It's gonna get quite intense. Just Freak, try not to go too crazy. That's all I have to say, man. I'm in the Discord right now.